our comments have exploded through the roof. So there you go.
All right. It is the end of the year. That means it is time for the second annual Lancaster Connecties. My first.
Your first. Man,
unfortunately had to miss last year's, but here we are. I'm excited.
You cleaned up nicely. I got to look.
Yeah. It was, hey, when you see these two guys out in the town in these shirts, watch out. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just saying. Watch out.
Right. We're up to something.
Yeah,
that's what that means.
Well, we're up to something being Lancaster's favorite mattress store, not just because we're great at helping you find the right fit and wake up happy, but because we believe so much in giving back to the Lancaster community. And so that's what this show is all about. The Lancaster Connect show, that is, all of these great charities. I got to get my finger pointing right. See, you need to point that way. There we go. Because I tried to, but my arms aren't big enough. I don't have go gadget arms.
So if our watchers here can't see what these boards represent, these are 4 years, 2021, 22, 23, 24, and soon coming 2025. All of the nonprofits that we've highlighted on Lancaster Connects in each of those years. Yes. I know last year the number was 26 or 27 charities or nonprofits highlighted on the show. And this year, I don't know the exact amount, but it's in the 30s. And we'll talk about a number of them
on our
today's show. Yeah.
Very good.
What is a connectee?
Well, it's a very important award, prestigious award, given only to great charities that have a focus on impact and leveling up and lifting up Lancaster County.
So if the name Connecties came from the illustrious show, The Office. Right.
Well, that too.
They had the Dundies.
I mean, I was trying to highbrow it, but if you want to bring it down, go ahead.
I'll bring it down to bring it back up. Right. The Office had the Dundies. Mm-hmm. Lancaster Connects has a Connecties to connect the dots to the name. And last year we had picked some categories, some fun categories, and highlighted some show guests from last year that won those categories. This year we decided to make the Connecties more of an impact award. Talking about some of the nonprofits and community benefit organizations that really moved the needle in the Lancaster community this past year.
Yep, that's right.
So
that's right.
We've got 10 Connecties to give out today. And one of the Connectee Award winners will be our Lancaster Connects Community Hero of the Year.
That's a big one. That's a first.
That is a first ever.
Yeah, first ever
community hero.
So
I mean, really, all of our nonprofit guests are community heroes, but one was kind of ranked special to us. This past year on our show, so we'll highlight them at the very end. So stay tuned.
Yeah. So, are we ready to get into it?
Let's dive right in.
Yeah. So I guess we have like the virtual envelope.
We do need to introduce our MC. Is he our MC or announcer?
Yeah. Yes, our MC. We talk about him often.
We do.
The illustrious, fantastic man behind the screens, pushing the buttons, the incredible Chris Stone from Cast Ahead.
I didn't know I was joining the show. And I've got the big reverb voice on there to announce our winners.
Great and powerful Oz.
Kazoo, the great Kazoo.
That's right.
I've been called many things, but great and Kazoo, definitely not either one of those. But thanks, guys. I'm looking forward to the second annual Connecties. And let's get rolling. Should we hit the first one?
Let's do the first one. Yep.
Right. And the Lancaster Connect or Food Charity Impact goes to Blessings of Hope, David Lack.
Yeah, statistics show that half of global food waste would end world hunger. So, when we look at this whole issue of world hunger, we see a management issue, not a production issue. And, USDA website states that 30 to 40% of all food produced in America is wasted. And only a fraction of that would end the hunger in the U.S. And, just to break that down for you, it equates to about a semi-truckload of food every 13 seconds. And there is no food shortage. It's a question of how can we utilize what's already being produced, get it to people in need, or in other words, how can we be stewards of what we're entrusted to in this nation, and actually, use that for God's glory and to reach people in need. And it's really a matter of being able to take what's already being produced, and rather than throwing it in the landfill. And, a question we get asked a lot is, why are we saving food from the landfill? If it's trash, why don't we throw it out? Well, what you need to understand is the food that we get is really not trash. It's food that's getting close to expiration date. A lot of what we get is still in date, but it might be close to expiration date, overproduced, misshipped, mislabeled. It's still a perfectly good product. It's just getting towards the end of its useful shelf life or its expiration date life. And, a lot of people look at an expiration date and they say, if this product hits that date, you throw it out. But what they miss or what they don't understand is the expiration date simply means that the manufacturer guarantees 100% freshness to that date. And, if it's a week later, the manufacturer can no longer guarantee 100% freshness. It might now only be 98% fresh. It doesn't go from guaranteed 100% to zero when the clock strikes midnight. So people need to understand that just because it hits that expiration date doesn't say it is now a trash product. It just means that the manufacturer can no longer guarantee 100% freshness.
Yeah, what I guarantee off of that one, and David Lapp and his team there, bless his hope, do great work. What I guarantee is they will solve world hunger. Maybe not David in his generation, but the company, the group that they're putting together at Blessings of Hope, they will, because it's a mathematical equation. If you dig into that episode deeper, you get to hear more of his equation. And he laid it out. We waste 30 to 40% of food. A very small fraction of that would solve world hunger. So right there it is. It's all right in front of us. It's just about a better management opportunity, and that's what Blessings of Hope is bringing forth. They are the winner because they are the gold standard for food charity at scale and heart, and they get it. So
yeah, and it's David's been on the show 3 times. It has been really great to get to know David and see the heart for the mission and the mission of what they're doing there. But if you have young kids, it is a great way to get your kids involved in volunteering and making an impact. A lot of volunteer opportunities with nonprofits are for adults, adult skills, or maybe there's adult situations or whatnot. But Blessings of Hope, I don't know if there's an age limit, young, on the young side, but it's a great place to take families to volunteer a little bit of time. They will always find something for a child to do, and it's a really cool way for family to give back and help make a difference in the community. And Blessings of Hope is just awesome to provide that opportunity.
Yep, they are. They certainly are. So congratulations to David Lapp and his whole team there, and Blessings of Hope. They continue to do amazing work here in the county. So thank you to all of them. All right.
Yeah. Number 2 is really someone near and dear to our heart. I'm not going to ruin the surprise. Chris, cue it up.
And the Lancaster Connecties for housing and shelter impact goes to Off the Streets, Jim Doyle.
I think people don't understand what it means for you guys to actually provide beds to these folks that are coming out of homelessness and into permanent living. These people don't have beds. There's kids that are 4, 5, 16, whatever, and parents that they're all sleeping on a blow-up mattress in the living room. Mm-hmm. We have kids that cry when they say, Mommy, I have a bed. And if you think of that in bigger context, these kids today are coming home from, maybe even if they aren't in school or in school, where are they coming home to? Living in a car. They don't have to feel a family. And I just think the bed, having a bed makes you feel like you're coming home to a family, you have security, you know, there's some dignity. You're not sleeping on a blow up mattress. And, you know, in that context, I think what you guys provide to the community and off the streets is one of the most important things and valuable things that we do for the clients here in Lancaster.
And what Off the Streets does, it's profound. I mean, we're happy to be a part of that.
A small part.
Yeah, a very
really.
small part. Very, very small part. It's their whole organization. It's their volunteers. It's the previewers that go out to the homes that become available to them to get their constituents into. It's the volunteers that do all the lifting. It's the volunteers at the warehouse. It's Howard Optical is a big benefactor of Off the Streets. You know, if the Howard family wasn't as into the mission at Off the Streets wouldn't be where it is today. So there's so many people. We're just such a small part. We're happy to do it. But what Jim said about having a mattress and having it feel like home, that's very important.
Yeah.
And just having a secure home is of most importance. So
right. Yeah. And it's amazing that, I mean, the amount of time that they put into finding proper housing for folks, and another organization that is always in need of volunteers, strong volunteers to help people move into the homes. Often they'll get together on Saturdays. You can follow them on Facebook. Just look up Off the Streets Lancaster and just see the type of things that they do to get folks into homes. They usually document each of their moves. But if you have that ability and a little bit of time, Off the Streets is a great organization to give your time to.
Yep, it is. It certainly is. All right.
Rolling right along.
Yeah. We do an efficient award show.
That's right. That's right. With Chris's help, of course.
That's right.
Did you notice what the Connectie is?
I did not.
Oh, you'll have to take a look at the next Connectie that
we'll
comes
get to
up
see
here.
it right here. Oh, yes.
Look at the man.
That is a heck of a trophy. That's a major award.
And that tuck still fits.
Yeah, it's a major award. I love it. All right. Number 3.
And the Lancaster Connectie for social program transformation goes to Restart Training Center Ministry, Jaime Santiago.
Restart Training Ministries definitely helped me to be a healthier person, to get prepared for marriage. So I was a very unhealthy person, didn't even need to be in any type of relationship at all. So if it taught me anything, it prepared me to be healthier, to prepare me to be in a relationship with anyone of any kind. So
I feel like seeing him in full surrenderance and striving to live in complete dedication to the Lord, and just seeing his fire for God and hearing what the Lord is breaking off of him and what the Holy Spirit was revealing to him gave me a desire to go deeper with God.
If you're questioning if you should give to this program or not, I don't know, ask God, but I will tell you that it changed my life. I got a lot of healing through this program. My relationship with God has been tremendously blessed. And he blessed me with a good wife. He blessed me with the knowledge and the wisdom on how to provide for my family. And I'm just super thankful, and I thank you.
I mean, this show was powerful.
It was.
If you're going to go back and watch one show from Lancaster Connects this past year, seeing Jaime's story and that gentleman's story right there, I mean, I was tearing up on the show listening. I was getting all verklempt. Yeah. Great SNL reference there, Mike Myers. It was just a powerful show to see how young men and adult men are being impacted by the ministry of Restart Training Center. And Jaime's story was just so powerful.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of good work. And, you know, our first 3 winners, the common thread is greater impact, impact that's really lasting beyond just like this group's or this year's or this time frame's level of volunteers. Like they are all built for longevity. So that's really great. All right. Rolling along as we go through our show.
It's like a
wrapping
walk
up
down memory lane.
2025. It is. Yeah. So this one, our fourth connectee, is for Jobs and Job Placement Leadership Award. And so, Chris, let's announce that winner.
And the Lancaster Connect for Jobs and Job Placement Leadership goes to Water Street Rescue Mission, Sandy Gambone.
And so for Michael, he lost his job, but then found also at the same time that he had to become a permanent full-time caretaker for his ailing mother. So when you look at those situations, so when his mother passed, it was very difficult for him to find a job, and finding reasonable and affordable rent was very difficult. So he found himself at Water Street, going through our emergency shelter program, but then choosing to enter our residential program, which is more long-term, which is really looking at finding a job, having classes that are really helping about career and financial services as well as health. We also offer diabetes classes and health related. If you don't have your health, it's very difficult to look for a job. And also the dental services to, maybe have dentures to then be smiling and going out for that job, or clothing that you might need for that job, which we have. But in Michael's case, he was here at our res program, and he learned that one of his biggest issues was procrastination and just dealing with that. So he was able to get some assistance through the Career and Financial Services program and be able to learn how to balance his check and to make planning and actually have a retirement plan set up for him. Which I'm sure we can all use that. Sure. So for him, it was really helpful for him to be able to then get that job. And so I think of Michael when I think of one of those success stories.
Water Street is one of those places I feel like it's been around forever. I don't recall the amount of years it's been around in Lancaster, but it's been around a long, long time. And I didn't really know the depth before that show of what they actually do there. It's not just, I think a lot of people think of it as a homeless shelter and somebody has a way to get out of homelessness, then they leave the shelter. It's not that at all. They have a really there's a totality to the impact that they have on rehabilitation and care and compassion to get that person out of their homeless situation. It's, we've talked to a number of people. In fact, our last guest last week about how they help with the homeless crisis in the Conestoga Valley School District. But Water Street really has a total approach to doing that, and that was a great show. Just impactful for what they do and have done for many, 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 many years right here in Lancaster County.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's so often it's easy to say, it's one thing we got to fix, but there's almost always other things around the one. There is often one major thing like drug addiction, but then there's, well, why did that happen? There's trauma of some sorts. There's instability of some sorts. And so it's great how all these charities see that, and they might endeavor to fix one thing, but they support many other things. And to reference our last week's guest Seeds, they saw that. They connect. Yep. They had a line connecting the spokes, extending the spokes out of the city into the charity and the work they do in Conestoga Valley. And it's just great to see these organizations embrace that as well. And that's why they've been around so long, because they continue to do great work.
Yeah.
So kudos to Sandy and Water Street Rescue Mission for all they're doing for Lancaster County.
This is like a rhoritorical question for Chris. How long do you think he worked on his voice? This announcer,
I think there were like 37 hours of voice training.
10,000 hours.
There you go.
Great and powerful Oz.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, we're going to roll on to number 5. So this one's important to Lancaster County, land preservation.
Yeah.
Coming ahead in the new year, I did see that Lancaster County Farmland Trust is going to be joining us in the new year.
Yep.
Well, in 2026, the new year would infer January, February. I think I saw April for that.
Yeah.
Like
They're later in the
spring there. So that'll make sense because we all start to think of farming in the spring
Yes, we
as
do.
the crops start to grow and we come out of winter freeze. But this one is very interesting in the vein of land preservation. So, Chris, I will turn it over to you to announce our winner.
And the Lancaster Connecties for land preservation and farming stewardship is Whittle Farm, Matthew Lenahan.
And again, most of us aren't sure or don't really know where our food actually comes from anyways. We just take for granted that it's going to be there. That sort of food dependency makes us really pretty vulnerable, I think. And I think it's also crazy. I mean, most of us eat every day, right? I mean, most of us eat 3 meals a day. Everybody eats. And so we all have a stake in what our food system is like. And we all have a stake in where our food comes from and how it's produced. And so really what we're trying to do now is sort of invite people to come to the farm for a kind of immersive education in what it means to become part of a food system together again as a community. Wouldn't it be amazing if Lancaster County decided together that we would become locally food independent or interdependent, meaning that we acknowledge that most of our food comes from where we live here in Lancaster County. There are other parts of the country that are doing that better than we are. There are places in Vermont that are pride themselves on sort of made in Vermont, locally fresh made. And we have that capacity here, right? Like there's tons of food produced here every year. There's lots of farmers markets, but we really want to make it so that everybody has a sense that they have a stake and not only an interest, but have the potential to be a partner and really get involved in their own food system.
Yeah, Matthew, he is into the land, into farming, into creating that interdependence, really, of farming and sustainability. And again, like everybody else, it's get to the farm, see what it means to grow organic food, farm the land where it's more than just planting the same thing over and over, understanding about building up the integrity of the soil so it's most productive and also healthy. Just so many great things you can learn when you go there. And there's kids that get to come through and see, and maybe that frames what they do later in life. So a lot of good stuff there.
I had the pleasure of meeting Matthew on the farm, Whittle Farm, which is up in the Elizabethtown area. And my family went there and volunteered. And the same thing as like Blessing to Hope. There's things for kids to do. There's things for adults to do. And it was really cool to like get my hands dirty and like do that type of work for about 3 hours. We were doing tomato steaks and there were other people that were like sorting greens and whatnot, but it was a lot of fun to kind of get my hands dirty and see what that work is all about and, the effort that is put into it. So another great organization that needs our help. And they're always looking for people to come out and help farm the land.
Yeah. We'd be okay if we didn't have Chick-fil-A. We'd be all right.
We'd survive.
Yeah, we'd survive.
Yeah.
And we'd be healthier. That's not a knock on Chick-fil-A. I should have maybe said in my opinion to appease the attorneys. In my opinion,
they will shut us down so fast.
We would be okay without Chick-fil-A. Even though it's tasty, even though it's really good.
Those waffle fries, man.
Yeah. There's better, there's alternative choices. I'll just say that. And the point being, the closer your food is to home, the healthier it is, the safer it is. It's also more sustainable, and it's you're less dependent on outside sources. 5 years ago, we all learned what that year was like and what grocery store shelves look like. And so his work is important. I don't know that he's going to change the world, but he can change his world here in Lancaster County. And so
more farming, less fast food.
Yeah. We're here hashtag that, trademark it.
Maybe that'll be our first Lancaster Connects bumper sticker.
Yeah. Right. But no, it's good. And if you can get out to the farm with your family, with your coworkers, maybe your youth group, people you lead, people you mentor, it would be well worth the time. Matthew is doing great work there at Little Farm. So kudos to Matthew and congratulations on your major Connectee award. It is in the mail along with other great prizes.
I'm not aware of the prizes.
Well, we were just going to leave it hang, but now that you said that, we might have to actually do prizes.
Chris, move on to number 6.
And the Lancaster Connectie for veteran courage and recovery goes to This Sober Vet Podcast, Joe Urick. Also, J-Dog Jumper.
So one day after a networking event, I came home. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I passed out on the couch. I drank way too much, drove home, which is totally irresponsible, especially my line of work where I'm driving around all day, like doing junk removal. So my wife came home, found me passed out on the couch. She finally had enough. That was literally that night is when I was passed out on the couch. She went through the house and was like,
so she took that photo.
She took that photo. And what you don't see, I cropped that photo because what she did was she went through the house, found all my empty bottles of SoCo because I was hiding them. So she was like, I know he's hiding them somewhere. So she found them all, put them all next to the table, next to the couch. And what I cropped out of that was my empty bottles because the next day she needed proof to find, because I was like, when I was an addict, my ego was so forefront. If you didn't have proof, I'm deny. What are you talking about? I didn't drink, right. So yeah, the next day she literally was like, she put me on the front porch after work and was like, we need to talk. And I was like, what's up? I knew something was coming because I did mess up. She was like, you have to get out. I was like, what do you mean I have to get out? This is my house. I pay the mortgage. I have to get out. Yeah, you're not doing the right thing. You're the one messing up. Me and the kids have done nothing wrong. If you can't stop drinking, you need to leave. I'm like, babe, I run my business out of the house. Like, I can't leave. She was like, not my problem. You're doing this. This is not my problem. So that literally scared me straight. I was like, all right, how about this? I'll quit for 6 months. Because when you're in it, to stop indefinitely is almost unobtainable because you just can't fathom that. So I was like, let me quit for 6 months and then we'll reassess. So she was like, all right, you could stay. So that day I quit cold turkey, which I don't recommend because the level I was drinking to quit cold turkey, I could have died.
Wow.
Because just by removing it that quickly. So if you're going to do that, do it under medical supervision. I didn't know that because I was just uneducated back then. So yeah, I quit cold turkey. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I never sugarcoat sobriety. It's very difficult, but it's the most rewarding. Like in the beginning, I felt like I was unplugged from the matrix. I felt like an armor was removed and I'm now naked dealing with like emotions and stuff. Like all the things I was masking and pushing down were now coming to the surface. And I'm like, crap, like I have to deal with it now because there's no option to kind of push it back down. So in the beginning, by doing these little wins of having a bad day and not drinking at the end of that day and waking up the next day and going, I just made it through a bad day without alcohol. That's interesting. Something amazing happens. Not celebrate with alcohol. I'd go to Giant and buy a dozen cookies and eat half of them. Like that's my celebration.
So proud of Joe. I mean, that was a tremendous moment of vulnerability. He's built it in to his work at J-Dog, his work and connections in the community, and his Sober Vet podcast. He was the first person to sign the Lancaster Connects poster. Obviously a very honest, raw, real moment there on the show to put out there through our show his story of sobriety, his story of that struggle. Very real. You can see right on his website there that photo that kind of changed the trajectory of his life. Important to memorialize that kind of stuff when you're in struggle, to show others who are in the same struggle there is light on the other side. And Joe's living it, walking it, and now he's modeling it and giving others a voice with Sober Vet podcast. So we're proud to honor him and his courage in recovery and really being recovered, because once you've made that decision and you've gone through those steps, you can be recovered. And so we're proud of you, Joe. Thank you, man. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah. Joe is our first two-time Connecty Award winner.
Oh,
He won
that's
last year for creepiest moment
right.
on the Lancaster Connect. Last year's awards
Trailer
were
Baby.
Creepy Trailer Baby. Yeah, last year's awards were more, let's say, comical or food related. We had a ice cream winner as one of our last year's awards. But yeah, Joe is a two-time winner, and this is obviously the impact that he's having for other vets that are going through the same sort of thing that he went through. So congrats, Joe, not only on your second Connecty, but on life and what you're doing, both with your business, J-Dog, and your Sober Vet podcast.
Yep. Love it. All right, we're moving on. We've rounded the bases. We're
heading to third.
There we go. I love this one. Arts and Culture Impact Award. Let's announce the winner there.
And the Lancaster Connecties for Arts and Culture Community Impact goes to Servant Stage Company, Andrew Zahn.
Even before I worked at Servant Stage, I was involved with some of their shows, and I just love that you can invite someone to a show and not have the 60, 70. Well, there it is again. I did not do that on purpose. But not have that,
It's impossible to
that
not do
ticket price, weighing over them.
Yeah.
So all of our shows, to make theater accessible, are pay what you will.
Wow.
So folks can see a show, whether they can pay for it or not, whether they can put $1 in or not. We just want to make sure that people experience a quality show. So we make it accessible by doing that.
Yep.
We remove the paywall, and then we also take our shows into the community. You just saw a little van. So what you're seeing on the screen is some of our shows that are going to retirement centers, schools. Oh, there's me and my daughter. That's our executive director, Jonathan. So not only do we have these big Broadway style shows with big sets, but we also have smaller shows that can fit inside a van, and we can literally do a show in a basement.
I love that they can take their production to a retirement community, because sometimes it's tough for older folks to get out.
Hospital setting.
They might not be able to leave
Rehab
the
setting.
facility they're in. Yeah, and they're like traveling minstrels.
Yes.
Yeah, they show up, do their show, put on a great quality show, and really bring joy to people that might not be able to get to wherever a show might be happening otherwise.
Yeah, love what they're doing, and what I love about it is the pay what you want thing. They've made a way.
Yeah, that is cool.
They've made a way with the quality of their work, no matter how big or small, be it a full production in a theater or a travel production out of the back of the van. The pay-as-you-go model is really interesting, especially when if you were to rewatch that show, you would know that as a charity, they've never operated in the red. Yep. They've always been in the black. They've always been able to make money, propel their mission. That money gets poured back into the needs of Servant Stage. So that might be, a little better costumes, maybe the maintenance on the van, rent for bigger, higher profile places to have shows. And so they've never been in the red. And I think that's really a testament to the work they do and the quality of a show you're going to see. So check out Servant Stage if you're looking for something interesting to do here in the new year. Add some new entertainment in your life. Cut out a subscription to one of those streaming services and get out and see real theater happening in your backyard.
I like that you didn't name the other services.
Right. We've already got the Chicken
Shack
Shacks lawyers looking at us on this show. We don't need big entertainment.
That's right. That's right. They're even bigger, I think, than
I think
the
so.
Chicken Shack. Mm-hmm. Number 8 is Business Leadership and Community Connection Award. Let's find out who won.
And the Lancaster Connecties for Business Leadership and Community Connection goes to Referral Partners Plus, Aubrey Montgomery.
And the organization is really about building relationships. We know in business that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so Referral Partners Plus helps different businesses and different organizations come together and have a place to plug in, get to build relationships within the members of their chapter, build relationships within the organization, and give referrals back and forth. So we want to help our businesses grow by being able to be referable and having those resources to refer to. So we really spend a lot of time focusing on that, but we also have a heart for philanthropic giving as well as a 501c6 nonprofit that I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about here in a minute.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it now.
Perfect.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so as a 501c6 member-based nonprofit, we are able to really focus on some of the things that are important to us. So all of our members basically own Referral Partners Plus, which is great. As a nonprofit, it allows us to have our members speak their minds and be represented. So each chapter has a leadership team, and their presidents come to the board meetings every month with myself and the rest of my executive leadership team, and we get to keep a pulse. What's important? What's going on in the business industries that our members represent? What's important to them as far as organizations that we should be helping and initiatives we should take to continue to drive value as an organization for the people who choose to engage with Referral Partners Plus.
Aubrey's doing great work there leading RPP.
Absolutely.
You are a board president.
I am exiting that position at the end of the year. So I get two more days, a few more days. We'll say a few more days. No, somebody else is taking the position. Usually the chapter boards, the individual chapter boards change every year. I was the Manheim Township chapter, the chapter we're part of. I was the chapter president. So just leading the meetings, being involved in the executive board, which is, of course, leading the direction of the organization. If you're really an organization of any kind, mostly small businesses or entrepreneurs involved in RPP, but if you're looking to have a deeper connection with other business owners or people that represent organizations, and then, of course, as Aubrey talked about, having a deeper connection with the community through the philanthropic giving, Referral Partners Plus is a great way to stay connected to other people. It's been great for us. We've been involved for, 8 or 9 years, something like that.
Quite a while. And what I like about that is it is a support for business owners, because we need support too. But most of the people that I see connected there are believing in their community. They don't just sell things into the community, which I kind of consider almost like taking from the community. Because if you're just selling into the community, you just expect to do business. If there's not a path for giving back and not a path for connection to your community, I believe every business ought to have that. And I see that a lot from the fellow RPP members in their own ways. Everybody's got their own things they're passionate about. And so, but it's happening. And I really love the group for that reason. So
helping to transform the community, not just do transactions within the community.
There you go. Boy, you are on fire today.
My gosh.
Yeah, from minstrels to the alliteration with the T's. It's the shirt.
It's the tux.
Maybe you just have to wear that all the time.
The fact that we dressed up.
Yeah. You just have to wear that all the time.
I noticed
I want family photos in the new year with that on.
That would be great. I'd never take it off. I noticed the servant stage show. We had our cabana wear on.
Oh, we did.
The funny thing is I walked into the house taking that back last week, and Lindsay's like, "What do you have that shirt up for?"
I went on vacation.
Yeah, right. I'm back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Our 9th connectee. This is a lot of fun because we went there over the holidays. I'm not going to spill the beans. We'll do that here soon. But this one is in the adventure, hospitality, and human connection vein of things. Chris, let's announce the winner.
And the Lancaster Connect for adventure, hospitality, and human connection goes to Refreshing Mountain Retreat and Adventure Center, Phil True.
Yeah, we like to see, honestly, our heart is like that families and individuals would make memories together, but overcome any fears that they might have in the process. And our staff loves to see that. We even get groups that have different disabilities that may be wheelchair bound or just have cognitive disabilities. And our staff, those are their favorite days. They get to come alongside them, help them through the ropes course, zip line. But yeah, those like seeing people overcome those fears, make memories, being able to do that. And I always tell people, I'm like, hey, if you're having a birthday party, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. They're just going to want to play on the gym up here. So the playground is a huge hit.
Yeah. And your team did a fantastic job of making sure everything was safe and controlled. And I know there were a couple times I'm looking up at my son going, oh my goodness, if I was up there, I'd be a little nervous. But the boys had a great time, and your staff made us feel super, super comfortable.
Good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Man, that's awesome to hear. That's so great.
Phil was fantastic.
He was a great guest.
Yeah.
If we had an award for best guest,
Yeah, Phil was
he
great.
would win.
I mean, we've got a lot of great guests, but it was just, and that's the last handful of awards have been in-person guests. For a long time watchers of the show, we did virtual guests for a long time, and the last 2 or so months worth of shows have been in person. And there's definitely a different energy doing shows in person and really making a connection with our guests.
And if we would do those in person with tuxedo shirts on, I think they would be even better.
Even better. Just take the show from here to here.
But Refreshing Mountain, just fantastic. As they get into spring, certainly something to check out. Maybe even if you want a little winter retreat, winter getaway, they've got cabins.
They do stuff all year long. Yeah.
Yeah. If you just need a break, a little staycation, what a great place to go. Their Christmas lights, we took the family there, was just fantastic. My boys loved the zip lines.
Did you find all the little, weren't there little like,
found the little mystery whimsical table in
Yes.
the woods of the little Alice in Wonderland creatures? Is great. Saw that. And they have a little reptile visiting area.
Cool.
And there were some very, very long black snakes there, or rat snakes, black rat snakes.
You were not hanging around that area.
I walked past pretty quickly. I do not like snakes, and that's okay. Other people do. I don't.
Nothing wrong with that.
If we ever have a Connectee Award for best snake wrangler or a snake wrangling guest, that will be a solo show, sir. You will be doing that one on your own.
That's right. Yes. We talked about having, never mind.
It won't, well, I don't know who this guests. I don't know who this we is. You got a mouse in your pocket that you're going to give to the snake or something, because it ain't going to be me.
We might have a surprise coming in 2026.
Okay. Have fun on that show. You'll be alone. You'll be alone.
We have one more Connectee to give out.
One more Connectee.
Well, actually, one more regular Connectee, and then we have
the big one.
The big one. So, Chris.
All right.
Play number 10.
And the Lancaster Connecties for outstanding community impact goes to Literacy and Learning Success Centers, Cheryl Heister and Bill Morgan.
A few years ago, we were partnering with a homeless shelter in the Elizabethtown area, and they had asked us to provide HSE class, a high school equivalency class for folks who were in the shelter. And it was a small little class. And this young man, I mean, he was not even 18 years old, was living in this homeless shelter. And, his story that he was willing to share was that he was living in a really difficult home. It was really chaotic. And ultimately, his father ended up leaving his mother, and his mother said, "You're going to have to fend for yourself because I can't take care of you anymore." So he found himself homeless, and he was, staying with friends as long as their parents would allow it to happen. And then at some point, he ended up on the street and found his way into this homeless shelter. And, he said, "Look, I just want to get my high school diploma so that I can go into the Army because I don't know what else I'm going to do." And it turned out that he was an incredibly bright young man who certainly had a lot of potential. And he passed the GED exams like in record time. I mean, he burned through, his preparation, passed all the tests. He had to wait till his 18th birthday to get that high school diploma. But I don't know if when you go into the Army, you have to take the ASVABs and you have to get a certain score. And if you have a GED diploma, there's a couple more barriers for you. It's a little tougher to get in, but his score on the ASVAB really took away some of those barriers for him. And he was able to go into the Army, and it was such a good opportunity for him because he had security, he had stability, he had a goal, and then he had access to all of the supports that were available to him through ongoing education and training. So I think there's a lot of people like him in our community, and I feel really good about our work and our ability to help people empower themselves through education and learning.
That Cheryl shared there's what I was talking about a little while ago about, it's the one presenting thing. This young man was homeless, but there was other thing. He didn't have a high school diploma.
Yeah.
Right. And so she gets connected to him and then helps him get that GED and helps him uncover that he's actually a very smart young man, and now is off in the armed services. So thank you for your service, young man, whoever and wherever you may be today. I hope you're safe and have a blessed and Merry Christmas, or had a blessed and Merry Christmas rather, and planning to have a wonderful New Year. I don't know about you. I always get confused this time of year. Like, where the heck am I at?
There's a lot of holidays.
It's a lot of holidays.
It's a lot of holidays. You go from
one time.
I mean, I feel like we were just eating Thanksgiving dinner. That's
Right.
like that was last week.
I actually just threw out leftover turkey in the fridge last night. I think we're not like most people where we're like most, where you should probably just get rid of it, but you put it in Tupperware containers because you feel better about it.
Right. And then you find it weeks later in the back.
David Lapp is behind me on my
right.
shoulder here right now saying, Jeffrey, there's a better part of the equation you can play in this.
It's true.
He's right here on my shoulder. I feel him. So congratulations to Cheryl and Bill for being so passionate. There's that small business thing we were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Bill and their business believes in giving back, and the connections there where he introduced Cheryl to us and they came on the show together. And so you can watch that show to see more of what they're doing there at Literacy and Learning Centers. So, all right.
We got the big one.
The big one.
The Lancaster Connects Community Hero of 2025. Again, everybody's a hero that supports the Lancaster County community. But again, there was one story that really just connected with us, and we felt compelled to have a community hero award for this person. So, Chris.
And this is the inaugural.
Yes, correct.
And the inaugural Lancaster Connecties Community Hero of 2025 goes to Restart City Center Ministry, Michael Santiago.
He kept saying that if I asked this God to forgive me of my sins, he would forgive me, and I could have a relationship, and he loves me. And so I grew up, Ben and Jeff, growing up, like if I disappear, no one would miss me, right? If Jaime disappeared, no one would miss him. No one loves me. No one cares about me, that kind of thing. And that's how I grew up, just feeling like, my life didn't matter. No one cares. Who cares if I disappear, if I die? No one would, because I just never got no nurturing growing up home, just did not get no love. Now I got to a degree my physical needs met, but no love, and obviously a lot of hurt, pain, and abuse. So here I am hearing for the first time. And I was like, in my mind, I thought about all the terrible things I've done in my life, all my behaviors, all the lying, the drug addiction, the alcoholism, the violence, the criminal behavior, all the innocent people I heard with my hurt and pain that had nothing to do with it, that I violated somehow through my addiction and criminal behavior. And I said, and my mind was like, there's no way this God will forgive me. There's just no way. So as I was thinking that, the chaplain says, he'll forgive you. He'll forgive you anything you did. I'm thinking, what? Is this guy reading my mind? What's going on? I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what is this going on here? And I couldn't understand what was going on. And so he kept sharing. So after a while, this video of my life just went by. And I was like, and I said, you mean to tell me this God will forgive me for this and this and this and this and this and this? And I was thinking that same thing. The chaplain says, he'll forgive you for it. And I'm like, what is going on? So after a while, I'm going to turn
for you.
Sir?
Was that the moment it turned for you?
Yes, sir. That's when he said, hey, I'm going to invite you to pray with me if you want to give your life to God. And so that's what I did, right? I stood up. We had a little rule in jail, no crying, because if you cry, it's a sign of weakness. And so then, people will take advantage of you. But, when he he had me stand up. He sang this old spiritual call, for those tears I died, an old spiritual call, for those tears I died. So he's playing that guitar, he's singing that. Oh, that song touched me deeply. And I just began weeping like a baby. I couldn't, like Niagara Falls, just weeping. And so then I just prayed the prayer he told me to pray and believed him. And I remember that day, felt like someone just
the weight lifted right off. Wow. I get choked up watching it again.
Yeah. I mean, I think just from watching that clip, and you should really go back and watch that whole show. It's easy to see why our first Community Hero Award of the year went to Jaime in his work, because he's been there, he's done that, he's walked that path and found his way back to the straight and narrow. And even in the way he named his ministry Restart Training Center, because he wanted to give dignity to those that were facing addiction, to say, I'm not in a recovery center, I'm in a restart center. I'm not, necessarily just learning menial job skills. I'm getting training for life, which you saw in the earlier award, where the young couple was speaking about each other and how they viewed each other, and you could tell they loved each other. And so just, I love all of that. And we talked about the prizes that winners may get. Well, I guess we shared this out on social media earlier in the year, but to cap it off here, the prize was in the mail already, was delivered already. And Gardner's Mattress and More, we gave Restart Training Center, we helped them fulfill a little side quest they had at the moment of what was it? Five bunk beds, 10 mattresses, sheets, pillows, and protectors to go
delivered it to them. Yeah.
And delivered it to them. And then he had his men set it up as a part of a skills team building thing within the ministry there. So yes, the major award for the big one, the Community Hero Award of 2025, was those bunk beds and mattresses, so all those men can sleep well, because we believe in the power of sleep. And the waking up rested, they're going to be rejuvenated and ready to go for the rest of their day as they restart their lives there under Jaime's great leadership. So Jaime, thank you, man. Thank you for leading the way you do there at Restart. We appreciate you.
Yeah. It's so, like, we didn't know Jaime before that show. No. Didn't know him at all. And to hear his story and to know how his story and their ministry is going to impact so many lives in Lancaster County, and maybe even beyond as they grow, it's just really, really cool.
And it's not just the young man that was talking about his time with Jaime. It's his marriage, it's children that they may have, it's grandchildren they may have. It is generational change. And that's, when you look back at all of our award winners, the young man getting his GED, going into armed services, same thing. Somebody who's going to learn skills in the services, come out, likely get married, start a family, off the streets. Kids that have a home, aren't living in crisis, are likely to be more stable. Generational change. People not being hungry, generational change. Because when you're hungry, you do desperate things, and you might go out and steal, and now you got a criminal record. So it's easy to see why Lancaster County is so great with all these people. We're just a small part of being able to share their story and amplify it with our platform here at the store. So that's why we do this show.
And we'll continue to do this show in 2026 and beyond. We got some great guests already lined up for 2026. And I look forward to this show. I know it's only the second one, but it's cool to look back and see some of the impact that these folks have had in the Lancaster community. And what story are we going to learn in 2026? Yeah.
We got lots. We got what, 52 weeks of them.
52 opportunities.
That's right. And so my challenge to other business leaders in Lancaster County and in the area, this platform for us is Lancaster Connects. What platform can you create? Maybe it is a podcast, TV show like this. Maybe it's just finding a charity you really love and directing your give back, maybe some time from your staff into that charity, into that service in your community. But create your own platform, right? As you said, Ben, not so much transactions, more transformations. That would be my challenge there. And then directly, who do you know that can sit in this seat? who is helping the Lancaster community to have a hand up, not so much a handout, but give a hand up to? Whose story can we tell there? Who's a local hero? That person that maybe doesn't own a charity, run a charity, work for a charity, but gives to a charity, gives an amazing amount of their time. We don't have a lot of those local individual heroes.
Yeah, there's so many out there.
Yeah, there are. And so who can sit in that seat? And then if you're a business and you have this kind of spirit of transformation for our community, we're happy to tell your story, providing you can tell that story of transformation. We're willing to invite you to the table. So that's my New Year's wish, that we have easily those 52 opportunities filled up. So we're asking for them. You can find out how you can do that by going to lancasterconnects.com/guest. That gets the ball rolling. You go through the little process there. And if you're a fit, we'll get you on the show.
So we're wrapping up the year. I'm going to put, Chris doesn't know this, but if you'd like to come back on the camera, Jeff and I put this show on, but we cannot do what we do without our amazing producer, Chris Stone, Cast Ahead Productions, the voice of the Connecties. I mean, he could put that on his business card.
Oh, it's already on my LinkedIn
Perfect.
profile.
Perfect.
I was multitasking. Don't tell my bosses. I mean,
you'll have to put the copyright logo on that, but yeah, you're allowed to use it. That's good. But no, thank you. I mean, in all seriousness, we can't do what we do without your help on the back end, pushing all the buttons. Sometimes we connect the technology here and it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
We don't.
But Chris is always the guy to figure it out and make it happen. But there's so much work that happens behind the scenes that nobody watching sees.
Yeah.
And a lot of work that we don't even see. There was a lot of work to put this show together. So thank you, Chris, for all of your efforts we're now coming into our 6th year of doing this.
Yeah. I mean, we will in 2027, we will hit 300.
Yeah.
That'll be a great
So
milestone. But no, Chris, seriously, we've done a lot of shows together here and elsewhere, and we couldn't do what we do without you. And so as a little testimonial, shout out to Chris and his amazing team there at Cast Ahead. If you need any kind of remote TV production, any kind of support like this, you get to show up and be the diva. I mean, it's a tuxedo shirt for now, but it could very well be a tuxedo. There could very well be my own transportation. You get treated like a rock star by Chris and his team. And look, if you've got a story to tell, you got a mission to accomplish, and you're thinking of any kind of remote production like this, and Chris can do a lot of things, has worked with amazing organizations like Harvard and MIT. Frankly, why he even bothers with us after working with those names beyond me. But from Gardner's to Harvard and MIT and all things in between, if you have a need to produce amazing video production in a remote environment, Chris is your guy, hands down. It doesn't matter what format, what delivery of frequency it is. It's just that it will get done and get done very, very well. And he'll throw himself into it. So Chris, thank you.
You are welcome.
I hope that Cast Ahead just has a tremendous new year. And I know we're locked in with you for a whole bunch more time together.
At least a couple of months. No, guys, thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for the kind words. And, maybe one day I could raise myself up to a 4th-rate producer. Inside joke. For those, that's only funny, the three of us on screen, unfortunately. But thank you very much for those kind words. It is a pleasure to work, honored. And I hope you guys have a great 2026. Yep. And I'm confident with everything that you guys have from a planning perspective that I've heard you tell me about, that you guys, go back 1 year and watch an episode and see how far it's come. And a year ago it was great, right? And so that's what I enjoy, is to kind of go back and see that first couple of shows that we did together and now see how far it's come.
That's right. Well, looking forward to what greatness looks like again, because we just keep going up and up. So thank you for being a part of that.
Thank you.
You know what just popped into my head? You mentioned 300 in 2027. This upcoming year is 250 for the United States of America.
It is. I wrote
and
it on the calendar.
The timing, we're at episode 226. I haven't done the math in my head, but
Are we going to have episode 250 in July?
might be just before July, just the quick math in my head.
We are kind of in control of that. We can control how many shows we do.
250, 252 before 250.
I mean, we don't go political on here, but it'll be huge.
It's really close.
Absolutely huge.
It could be huge. I mean, oh my goodness.
Let's see. Let's see.
I got a little bit of news just before the show that put my frownier, but that just made it turn upside down into a smile. Turn that frown upside down.
Right now, it's planned for June 8th. Is episode 250.
Listen, we're going to be celebrating 250 years as an amazing nation all year.
Yes.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe 250 could be really special.
Yeah, like we could have 250A, 250B, 250C.
It's just meant to be.
Has to be.
All right. Look, see, we already, boom. This is what happens when you got a great team. Love it. All right. Chris, thank you. Looking forward
Thank you,
to
guys.
all episodes in between.
Likewise.
All right.
Have
Take
a happy
care.
New Year, everybody.
Yeah, Lancaster, have a
Thanks
great
for
New
watching this
Year.
year.
Have a safe New Year's Eve, please. And have a wonderful, wonderful New Year. We'll see you here at Lancaster Connects and at Gardner's Mattress and More.
Comments of this floating through the roof. So there you go.